Welcome. My name is Mark Latender. I'm a virtual training assistant systems consultant with Risk. I'd like to demonstrate a simple way for you to get data out of your VTA system into Microsoft Excel and insert a pivot table in order to quickly and easily answer some basic questions about your data. The VTA back office system comes with almost 200 built-in reports, and they represent a range from simple to complex ways to query your data right out of the box. And you can also choose to pull raw data from the VTA system grids by using a combination of filters and options and then exporting those results to Excel. Every once in a while, we do get a client that asks us how to determine something about their data, and we either don't have a built-in report available or simply exporting the data won't answer their question. I recently was asked, how can I determine which of my courses are used on a frequency? In VTA, some of their course requirements are assigned to be completed either every year or on a 2, 3, or 5-year cycle. Although we don't have a built-in report to specifically answer that question, we do have a report that contains the data necessary to answer it with a little help from Excel. Again, this video is to demonstrate how to get data out of your VTA system into Excel and then insert a pivot table. I'm going to quickly get the report to open and then carefully show you how to do a basic pivot table with the VTA data. To determine which courses are assigned with a frequency, I'm going to start with a List Student Requirements report in VTA Administrator. I will run it on all students, and on the Where tab, I will choose the CSV file type. I click OK to run the report, and when available, I select to open it. You will want to open it first before saving it. It should automatically open in Microsoft Excel. Once open, save it somewhere you will remember in Excel format. For this demonstration, the question was, how can I determine which of my courses are used on a frequency? To answer this, I need the course information and the frequency information. I can insert a pivot table using the report data to easily display this information. First, on the Insert ribbon in Excel, click on Pivot Table. Select the data range that includes the field you want to use on the pivot table and click OK. On the pivot table field list, select the fields to display, such as code, course title, and frequency months. Be sure Excel doesn't make an assumption on how you want to use the field, such as the frequency months values. It should be in the Row Labels section. You may need to drag it there. We still don't have our answer, so let's modify our pivot table settings. Hover over the pivot table, right-click, and select PivotTable Options. On the Display tab, select the classic PivotTable Layout option and click OK. We're almost there. Now right-click over the first column and deselect its Subtotal option. Right-click over the second column and deselect its Subtotal option. In the column header filter for frequency months, deselect the 0 option. You are now looking at all courses that have a frequency set in VTA. To review the steps on how to export VTA data into Excel and get a pivot table, first select the built-in VTA report or export a system grid that contains the data you can use to answer your question. Once the data is open in Excel, save it in Excel format. On the Excel Insert ribbon, select the Pivot Table option. Select the data range to include and click OK. Select the fields to include on the table. Right-click over the grid. Select the Pivot Table options, and on the Display tab, select the classic Pivot Table Layout option and click OK. Deselect the subtotal options for each column, and select your options from the column header filters as needed. Thanks for listening, and I hope this helps.